Shefsky here, and welcome to Fantasy House. You like Adventure Time and MTV Cribs, and whenever you're watching HGTV, you're like, this needs to be trippier. This needs to be sillier. Well, then Fantasy House is the podcast for you. Every week, I get a special guest, and they take us on an imaginary tour through their fantasy house. And we have fun. We have a lot of fun together. We have some laughs together. It gets cray. It gets super cray. This podcast is brought to you by me, Jon Shefsky, Southern California real estate agent. I will help you find your fantasy house, whether you like it or not. Can you imagine a real estate agent that's like, do you want a fantasy house? And you're like, I don't want a fantasy house. And he's like, dude, I'm getting you a fantasy house. You're like, but I don't even want a fantasy house. And you're like, dude, I'm getting you a fantasy house. Well, I'm not going to do that to you. But if you do want a fantasy house, dude, I'll help you find it. Even if you just want a regular house or you just need to sell your condo, hit me up, fantasyhousepodcast@gmail.com. I'll take care of you. And we'll have a few laughs on the way. We'll have a good time. It'll be nice. This podcast is also brought to you by Claire and Heart Handmade UK. You need to hit up Claire. She's on my Instagram, Jon Shefsky Instagram. She's on the interwebs, Heart Handmade. What Claire does is she helps you get organized in fun ways. So if you have a business and you're trying to figure out your workflow, she's just got tons of cool ways to help get you creative and get you being efficient and enjoying your life while getting a lot done. So hit her up. Hit up our second Fantasy House podcast sponsor, D, at A Piece That Remains. A piece that remains. What D at A Piece That Remains does is she makes cremation art. So basically, if you're ever like, man, I wish Grandpa's ashes weren't just sitting up there above the fireplace. Yeah, I wish they were in a painting. Well, you've got someone to call now. You call D. She will put your grandpa in that painting. Also, you need insurance from Joe Erle at C3 Risk and Insurance Services. What Joe does is he's an insurance broker. He finds the best insurance for you. Also, when you get a policy from Joe, he gives you $25 to Amazon.com. Isn't that fantastic? All right. Let's do this podcast, dude. This week, my special guest is Dave Ross. He's absolutely amazing. He's so funny. We had so many friggin' laughs. He's a great stand-up comic. He's got a killer show in LA called Good Heroin, and he's just a great dude. We've road dogged. I love the guy, and I'm excited for you guys to have this episode to hear it, dude. His house is hilarious, and he's hilarious, and we just laughed the whole time. So if you like Guy Fieri, Nashville, and Glass Bottom Boats, this episode of Fantasy House is for you. Now, in the words of the great Angelo Bauras, let us do this.
Won't you take us on a grand old tour of your fantasy house? You're the host with the most experience in your fantasy house. You don't need money for expensive construction. You only limit your imagination. You're on a grand old tour of your fantasy house right now.
I think it's going to need to be a houseboat.
Yeah.
I think it's going to have to be a houseboat.
I love the way you said that.
I need to move. I need to move around. There aren't a lot of material things that I can point to where I'd be like, that makes me so happy. There's stuff I really like. There's a lot of material things I really like.
Yeah.
But I don't mean to be some stoner fucking punk rock.
No, it's great.
Dude, honestly, my fantasy house would just be air.
And you'd be floating through it like a little monk?
Dude, I don't need to own anything. I would be naked in a void with nothing and no one. That's
End of
my
the
fantasy
episode.
house. Yeah.
End of the episode.
See you later,
I
dude.
love it. This is short. Thanks, guys, for listening. Click the share button and give us a 5-star review.
Yeah, but I like the things that make me happy I've learned throughout my life are people and peace of mind and change, occasional change, and safety.
Yeah.
So I would need there to be what I'm doing right now. You've caught me in a period of my life where I'm just reaching for being zen. I live a very chaotic life. I don't actually know very much about being healthy, but when I get into a healthy thing, I know it makes me feel good. When I make my body feel good, my brain feels good. I'm learning this.
Yeah.
And so I'm striving for routine because routine helps get yourself healthy, but also you got to change things up every now and then. So a house that has everything I want in it, but can move location when I need it to. Great. But also if it were fixed on land, I was gonna have it be on the beach anyway because I just want to be on the water.
Yeah.
So a houseboat is perfect, dude.
It's perfect.
Yeah, dude. Like
What's
a
it-
huge fucking houseboat.
Yeah, like not one that we've seen before, like something like
Absolutely.
it's Dave's
Like one the
unique
size
houseboat.
of Africa.
Oh man, is it shaped like Africa too?
It's Africa.
So when
Yeah, yeah.
Africa sees it, Africa's like, wait
Like
a
if
second,
Africa could move, then
it can.
it can
Africa
now.
did move, right?
Absolutely. Well, sure, we all did.
What was
right?
it called? Pangea.
Pangea. I mean, but we were all a part of Pangea.
That's
Come
right.
on, let's talk about
Sounds like a super hot pog.
We
porn
were
star.
all a part of Pangea.
Pangea.
It sounds like a really bad answer from Miss Universe to a really corny question. We were all a part of Pangea. All right, so that's why you play the flute.
Okay,
Great.
the next. A kind of semi smart, cool, like
Yeah, totally.
because we're all part of Pangea, and I
Great.
believe that you would, as the judge, you just cut her off.
Great.
Absolutely, absolutely. Could you please do a spin for us on
Great.
stage?
Wonderful. Yeah.
Pangea.
And that's why I'll be donating all of my winnings to the Pangea Foundation.
That actually would be a great foundation. Okay, so what's this look like? What color is this puppy?
What color is it?
Yeah, your houseboat. It's got to be painted some color, right?
I suppose. Or it could just be glass. Some of it goes down underwater. There's like a basement-esque thing, but it's,
Yeah.
you can't really have a basement underwater. But the whole that would at least be made of glass.
Okay.
Because I would love to be able to just like look at fish.
Oh,
that
yeah.
seems great. Look at whales from my fucking basement, but it's still dusty
Your
and shitty. Like
Africa-sized
a
basement?
Yeah. Let's cut out the Africa thing. I think
Okay.
it should be the size of like a house. Let's say, let's just make it like the size of South Africa.
Okay. Oh, dude, splitting the difference with Dave Ross. It's a South African size houseboat with a glass bottom for sale.
Imagine
$25
in this
trillion.
like glass basement of a houseboat. It's like a big. I haven't decided how big it is yet, but let's
Okay.
say it's a mansion. It's a mansion boat,
Okay, yeah, a mansion boat.
not a yacht, but it's still a fucking floating house, but it's a mansion. The basement is like glass, and you can see fish, but it's still dusty and shitty, just like a regular basement.
You're
And there's like
unkept.
old fucking. There's like a rusty sink.
Yeah.
and my laundry's down there.
Bob and Doug McKenzie are passing around a donut.
Yeah.
It's a real scum shit of a,
Yeah,
of a
totally.
basement.
It's where we keep like all the boxes of like, photos of our kids or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know who us is. I don't know if
I was
I'm
gonna say,
married
did
or
we
whatever.
have kids in this
Yeah,
fantasy
you and
house?
me, sure.
Oh, dude,
we
the
have
future.
kids that look exactly like us.
Yeah.
Like obviously.
They fucking better, or I'm gonna kill them.
Yeah, that's
My kid
true.
doesn't look like me.
That's true. I'm just saying you and I look alike in the grand scheme of things compared to the rest of the people on earth.
Well, we're
you
two
and I look
Jews.
pretty alike.
Dave, we're two Jews. I mean, what do you want?
I've been told I'm a Jew by Jews.
That's the beginning of the whole process.
I know, but I'm not a Jew.
I know, but you don't think
I'm sorry.
You don't think you are, but we've got your file. You've
Okay.
been grandfathered in.
Oh, well, good. I know. I do have a lot of the characteristics, or so I'm told, by Jews. I had a group of Hasidic Jews walk up to me in Santa Monica once and ask me if I was Jewish, and I said no, and they said, "That's too bad," and
Are you
walked
serious?
away. Yes.
That's so condescending. That's too bad. You're like, wait, come back. Why?
Wait, were you
What if-
even real? Am I real?
What if I am Jewish, dude? What happened?
Yeah.
Because we have this gift certificate for Disneyland passes for the next 30 years, and we were going to give it to a fellow Jew. And you're like, no, I am Jewish.
Okay, so I'm going to say, the whole house is
It's glass.
on
I
the
love
outside.
that. That's
but
freaking
I also
rad.
want privacy. So on the inside, I don't
Yeah.
know, the walls on the inside, let's say light blue. Sure.
You could also have a technology that, like, if you wanted to,
Changes the Oh,
immediate, like, yeah. So
Shades
it's
the
generally all
glass.
glass, but then just like that movie with Kevin Bacon where he's clear and he wants to go to sleep, but his eyelids are clear. So it's like, I can't sleep because my eyelids are clear. You could, your boat, you could turn to a, like you said, like a blue color to,
sure.
to guard you.
Yeah,
from
I like
surprise.
that. Like I said, I like change. So sure, the glass can shade itself.
Yeah.
To block out light, and it can be whatever the fuck color I want that day.
I feel like I'm a
It could be
salesperson.
a picture of me. How about that? How about
The SS Ego.
yeah? Whenever I want people to not be able to see into my glass house, just a massive picture of my face covers the walls of my big. For some reason, I'm picturing not a dome, but like it's a cube. It's like a cube that with like rounded edges.
Yeah.
That's what I'm imagining.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Okay, that's a
I don't
trippy.
know. Yeah. But that also sort of slides up at the top and has sort of like comes to a house point. But other than that, it's this sort of like soft cube.
Very Star Trek-y versus Star Wars. Like it's got smooth curves around the edges.
Yeah. But glass.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm picturing this thing, and the person who lives in this is crazy. Do you know
But
what I
Dave,
mean?
you're supposed to live in it.
I know. Like aesthetically, I don't like this.
Okay.
I'm imagining. Yeah. Now I'm like maybe going back on it a little bit. That shape. I don't know. I think what I'm saying is I don't want it to be glass.
Okay, that's fine.
But I would like it to be like I would like it to let a lot of light in.
Okay.
And because I'm just picturing this sort of like rounded edges glass cube floating around, and someone lives in there. I'd be like, oh, a murderer lives in there. A rich fucking murderer lives over there.
Are you afraid of yourself, Dave? If you had this much success that you'd have like in life, like that you would be like, I've turned into my nightmare.
Well, the reality is that if I got this much success, I would never have something this extravagant. Even if I become really rich, I honestly would like modest things. Modest, but also modest things that are really nice for my loved ones. So like I would never want like a 15-bedroom home if I was married and I had a couple kids, but I would want like a couple extra bedrooms.
Yeah.
Because I would like to entertain. And this is actually maybe more what I should talk about, like a more realistic thing. I really would love to have something that where I have a family. I really definitely want a family.
Yeah.
And I want them to feel safe. I want them to feel cared for. I want them to feel like they're not want for things, and if they want something, they can have it. But I also don't want them to be spoiled. I don't want them to feel like they get everything.
That's a difficult balance to find, dude.
I would bet. Yeah. And then I would also like to, not have some garish, ugly house. I want a regular fucking house. I like the way that a regular, like stereotypical American house looks with fucking aluminum siding or whatever. I fucking like houses like that have like like the roof is the same color as the fake shutters next to the windows. I fucking love those like fake suburban homes. I loved those. And I would love like to have friends come visit often, because I would love to. When I really think about it, I think my most actually ideal house is like a 5-bedroom home.
Okay.
So I can entertain people visiting me all the time, but they would be in their own side of the house, so that happening wouldn't annoy my fucking wife and kids or whatever, you know? And then I would legitimately love to have a basement that is finished, like with a bar and a pool table and a fucking dartboard and a big TV.
Yeah.
And stereotypical like man cave kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
I would love it, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then I get to entertain whoever the fuck comes over. But then also I get to be with my family and be alone. And I would love to live near like woods, literally, because I would love to walk through the forest alone a lot. And I would also love to be
You're
near
a contemplator, huh?
Yeah, I am.
Me too.
I love one of my
walks.
one of my favorite things on earth is, this is very specific, but I love to, like yesterday was very windy.
Yeah.
Which made it like kind of cool outside. It made it like hoodie weather.
Yeah.
That exact temperature and that like feeling of weather, that like sort of cool but not freezing cold, and like wind that you can hear in the trees.
Oh, yeah.
I love to walk around in that weather with a hot drink, listening to music that matches that weather, like fucking M Ward or Old Caribou or something, and just think. That's like, that very specific thing is maybe my favorite thing.
It's beautiful
to do. Thanks, man.
I love that you. I love that you are comfortable hanging out with yourself too. That's such a cool thing. Some people aren't like that.
I know.
It's very
Well, it's the
cool.
one. Like, I am an only child, and it is like I think there are a lot of difficulties that come, like especially later. There's a lot of difficulty that comes of dealing with people when you're an only child. You have to learn that later, which blows. But you do, and my parents are pretty. I'm pretty distant from them, so I definitely learned to be alone and like it. And also, I chose a life that was pretty alone. Like, I chose to move far away from my family. I right as soon as I could. When I was 17, I went to college in California, and they were in New York. We also moved every 3 years, so I didn't have the same friends. And then, so yeah, there's that. And then I go to college 3,000 miles away. And then I become a fucking radio DJ. And then I move back to LA and I'm like a drunk and a web designer. And then I become a
Hilarious stand-up comedian.
Thank you.
Let's put that adjective in there. You're
So I just kept
hilarious.
changing everything. So I was always alone. So I had to. And yeah, I do love it. My life very much taught me to love being alone. And I really love it.
I think it's a beautiful thing.
I love it. Yeah. And every now and then, I will be talking to someone. It happened to me recently, and I forgot who it was, but someone said to me, like, they made a snide comment. They were like, is that person eating alone? They're like in their 30s. God, I hope when I'm in my 30s, I'm never eating alone. And I was just like, dude, I hope I never stop eating alone. I love going to a diner and sitting at the counter and just fucking like chilling and eating eggs.
What's the matter with that?
God damn, I like going to a bar alone.
Yeah.
I love
sushi bar. I mean, I'm not really a bar guy, but yeah, sushi bar, same thing.
Yeah,
like
man.
I love just going there and sitting down and be like, how you doing? They're like, well, what do you have? Well, they say that with an Asian accent.
Sure.
But,
yeah.
You know, like
sitting somewhere where you have no purpose but to be there and patronize that establishment by yourself.
And just look at people and think and enjoy your own company. Maybe meet a stranger.
Or maybe meet a stranger,
But either way, all those options are there. And like,
exactly.
What is so scary about my wife?
I have literally
just
been, sorry for
Oh, no, you go. I shouldn't be.
I have literally been alone at a bar, only in the mood to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
Had someone talk to me, had a very polite, momentary conversation with them, and then continued ignoring them.
Mm-hmm.
To make the point that I wanted to be alone, and they like got the point, and then we didn't talk, and then we both sat there alone, and then 30 minutes went by without talking, and then I'm like, pay up, and I'm like, hey, nice to meet you, have a good night, and they're like, hey, nice to meet you, and they're like, it was so funny is that I just didn't want to get to know someone in that moment, but I should have probably been best friends with that person.
Because so much in common.
Life the same.
But dude, it takes energy sometimes that you just don't want to put forward to like you're not. It's okay to just be somewhere and be like, I don't need to like interact right now or need to bond or meet a new friend to take a new number down. Like I just want to like be alone. I think that's freaking great. I think it's a good strength to have.
Like, what is a house that could accomplish me being able to entertain company? Like, what people want to be at my house and hang out there a lot, and also give me a lot of being alone. That's what I want. Whatever that house is, that's what I literally, so if we're being fucking extravagant and I have this glass fucking floating cube where I get to like sit, how cool would it be to sit in the ocean and be dry and see the ocean around you?
Yeah.
In that same house, I would want there to be a beach and a forest.
Yeah.
And a huge room where I can like, where there is a party filled with my best friends that never stops. And I'm telling you, dude, we're like, you know what I mean? Like, this is my fantasy. Like, all of my best friends are in one room and they're always just like hanging out and chatting and fucking, maybe they're sitting around playing poker and telling jokes, or it's packed in with everyone else they like and they're like drunk and doing keg stands. Every version of a party is happening in that room all the time. And I can go in there whenever I want, but then when I get tired socially, which happens to me in 90 minutes flat at every party, I can go into the other room and be in the forest.
That's fucking amazing. So this boat, this glass boat is so huge that it has a forest in it.
Yes.
And so, dude, how fun is this shit? So, like, if I'm coming to visit you, like, where's the entrance to this boat? Like, how do I get on this puppy?
Oh, wow. Well, I would say that there's like a really dilapidated, like 8-foot wide wooden plank all around the thing. Just like a houseboat.
A giant glass houseboat that no one's ever seen before in the entire
just
history.
A shitty
and then like a rotting wood thing that you need to walk through that you're worried it's going to break.
It's still going to be a houseboat. People just need to know it's a fucking housebout. Yeah.
That's very humble
it's
of you.
It's the only part of the house that I never let anyone fix. Yeah. And yeah, there's like a front door, like a wooden red front door.
Yeah. Oh, I love it,
with
dude.
like a brass knocker, like in a suburb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's your East Coast suburb.
Because I need to be able to, like, when I want to, take the houseboat back to the subdivision that it's a part of. in a suburb of Nashville.
So it comes. Oh, very cool spot. Oh man. Oh,
Yeah, dude. I lived in Brentwood, Tennessee for a while when I was a kid, and all of it was like a
This houseboat goes from the ocean, and then you can just drive up
To
on
Brentwood,
shore,
Tennessee.
all the way up to Tennessee.
yeah. I don't really know logistically how that works, but let's just
okay.
say at some point,
Just think Adventure
you know,
Time. Like wheels can come out of it, and it just goes
Sure.
like 20 stories tall, and goes. And just
I
drives
just
there.
want to have every option at my disposal,
Yeah.
I guess. And also, I want my kids to have like a regular life, so they got to go to a good school. I know that Brentwood has good schools.
It's very cool of you. Our dad has a
I'm not
glass.
homeschooling these kids, man. They're not going to be fucking idiots. You know what I mean?
They better not be.
If you're listening and you're homeschooled, yeah, you're stupid.
You're the first person who's like, my fantasy house has kids that aren't idiots as residents.
Kids, I'm like, there are kids in my fantasy house. I think is also just funny.
Dude, I think it's sweet. Okay, so I walk onto the dirty wood what do you call it? Walkway.
Yeah. It's just like like an 8-foot wide walkway that surrounds this entire square home.
So I come to the front red door, the traditional
Subdivision with a brass knocker.
yeah, the main-
and a Christmas
the
wreath
front door from
all year
Maine.
because I'm a fucking white trash. I'm also white trash.
That's okay. So
Yeah.
and we keep our
Yep.
wreaths up until they start to become a fire hazard.
Yeah, of course.
And then after that, we smoke them, dog.
Oh, nice, dude.
Load up the volcano, bro. We're gonna vape this reef.
Hell yeah, dude.
So,
Posse vibes.
yeah,
dude.
brah. I'd fist bump you, but it's too far away, bro. Okay, so let's say you come to the door, like I ring that doorbell.
Yeah.
What plays when I ring your doorbell?
Oh man. You know what? I think even though this is the most extravagant house of all time, there's no doorbell. I feel like that's a little too much. You can knock on the door. I can hear you. No matter what, I can hear it. It's got a knocker on it, like I don't know what song it would play.
Oh, dude.
Maybe just a regular ding dong. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Just
dude.
a simple.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Totally.
That you can hear 7 miles away in the forest inside my massive mansion.
I love that you know where to draw the line, guy with the giant glass boat. I just know.
I feel like this square glass boathouse makes me seem so crazy.
I don't give a fuck. It's fucking hilarious, dude. I love it. I want to see it. I'm visually in my mind. It's awesome.
Man.
Oh, dude. All the ocean Muslims are going to run circles around it. They'll be like, is that Mecca?
Oh, I see.
Dude, you got
I was wondering what that meant. I didn't. The ocean
You've got this big
Muslims.
shiny like glass square on the ocean. And they're like, I think that might be Mecca.
Ocean Muslims riding around it in jet skis or something.
That's that's the
so
best,
funny.
That's the best Ween song I ever heard. Ocean Muslim riding around in jet skis. Okay, so thank you for letting me in and ringing your fucking boring ass doorbell.
Yeah,
but
dude.
your house is
Ding
wild.
dong, dude.
Okay,
Yeah, man.
All right, so like if I come in, what's the entrance like in this area? It's glass, so I'm assuming it's pretty bright if I'm coming in during the daytime.
Yeah, what is the entrance like? I would say, I think I think like in order for this to be a building with a forest in it and a never-ending party and a beach, there need to be like a little controlled at the beginning. So I think like the entranceway, the foyer, in the front there would be like a foyer, that was open, connected to like a living room and a kitchen, and then like a stairway up to what's going on?
The sound's being weird. I'm not sure what's going on here. Hang on a second.
I think it's because I got a couple texts.
Do you think it's static from that?
Whoa, I think so. I'll just
Interesting.
put it over here.
If that's it, that'd be awesome because that noise tripped me out.
I think it was.
How could it travel from that to that?
Oh, dude,
Are your
that happens
texts-
all the time.
Yeah, your texts are that powerful.
I mean, that happens all the time.
Yeah?
Have you ever been like listening to headphones of your computer and then you just like when a song stops, very faintly you hear a radio station?
Maybe. Oh,
Yeah.
they pick it up. Okay.
Well, because like if you think about it, all of this shit is light waves. They're all like different frequencies of light waves. So every radio wave is traveling through the air. The radio and TV are all around our bodies right now at this current moment.
Mm-hmm.
And a receiver is just a piece of metal that's designed to send that to an amplification system. So like, it's really not that crazy that one radio wave would connect to a piece of metal.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't know any better.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
the
The shittier the piece of equipment, the more likely it is to randomly pick up radio waves.
Do you hear that, Zoom?
Yeah, you suck, dude.
You fucking suck, bro. Okay.
Actually, it's amazing that it doesn't do it constantly all the time. You know what I mean? Like, how is this not playing every radio station right now? Okay, so thinking about it, I would like to also have somewhat of a simple home, like a manageable but nice home. So like, okay, yeah. Just picture like a regular 2-story nice suburban house that you walk into. So you walk into like a foyer that's very well lit, and there's like some greenery, and there's like a coat rack, but it's just very normal. You know, there's some art on the walls.
Yeah.
And it's the entire floor to ceiling. So it's 2 stories well. And then you walk into like a canopied ceiling, really big, comfortable living room. And then there's a kitchen off to like a big kitchen off to the corner, and then stairs up to a railing on the second floor, but the railing overlooks the living room. And up there are like 2 or 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. But then over to the right of the foyer when you walk in is a massive glass wall in which you can see a huge forest. And then on the left, there's a massive glass wall in which you can see this beach that exists inside my house.
And the house is a boat. So you're like, you have a beach inside the boat? Like,
Yeah, beach. I have an ocean inside of the boat, which is on the ocean. I know it's complicated, but it's like a Russian doll kind of situation.
Yeah, oh, I love it, dude.
But with a beach.
I love it. Where should we go first? Do you want to go start off with like crazy stuff like the forest and the beach, or do you want to go to
I don't know.
kitchen?
It's up to you, dude.
Well, can we start with the kitchen?
Sure.
I want to know about your kitchen.
Dude, I'm saying, I really want this front part to be a simple home. So it's like nice shit, man. I'm like, I don't have a white fridge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a fucking steel fridge. Someone has a joke, or someone was talking to me about a white fridge recently, and it really stuck with me how like, I think that there's some comic that I'm close with that has a bit about how a white fridge defines you as poor.
It's pretty ghetto.
It's ghetto, yeah, and I have never not had a white fridge.
Yeah, we've always had white fridge when I was a kid. Now we
Yeah.
have a metal fridge, but it was only $500.
Sure. Well, yeah. I mean, we're figuring out. It's probably going to be a different thing for people.
Oh,
kids
for the
who are
next
born
generation?
Now. Yeah, totally. But like,
Your fridge doesn't have matching cabinetry on top of it or whatever, you know, like
I think I would like to have. Oh, wow. Yeah. Funny.
right? That's
Yeah.
the new fancy fridge. Is like where it's like
Oh,
it
your
just
fridge
looks
isn't a part of the wall.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, right?
I think I'd like to have a robot fridge. You know those like fridges that you just talk to, and it's like, oh yeah, you want this?
Yeah, totally.
Or the fridge is like, hey, your milk is expired. I definitely want. a
Thanks, fridge.
Yeah.
Can you
thanks,
order
dude.
more? Like I'm stuck here, sir, but I'm letting you know.
I wonder if I want like I don't think I want a robot house. I don't think I really want a house I talk to in general, which is like it's funny. I think if you were to do this podcast 10 or 15 years ago, that might be a big thing that people would cook up in their brains. Like,
I was trying to, Dave.
my house, I could talk to it and it would do what I wanted.
Oh yeah. Oh, we've had that. We've had like a ton of people have had that.
Oh, really? Yeah. But I feel like that's not even that crazy. I feel like that's a thing that people have now. It's like a little piece of equipment that you buy, Google Home.
Yeah.
It just does that.
Yeah.
And I guess like there's a huge version of it where it would fucking like cook you food or whatever. But
Sure.
yeah.
I mean, this what episode was it? Jamie Rice. She has a toilet that wipes your butt for you. Like a hand just comes out and just wipes your butt. Like,
Weird. What?
I know. It's
I
just-
don't want that at all.
Your house
Horrifying.
Your novel. It's like me. Like in the old days when tattoos were like more rare, and I'm like those tattoos are so cool. And now that I have a ton of tattoos, when I see people without a ton of tattoos, I'm like, oh, it looks so cool that
Yeah.
you don't have a ton of tattoos. Like look at your beautiful flesh. And you probably feel the same way about this.
Yes.
Like I want a house that leaves me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is how I feel.
Oh,
Totally.
I love it.
I guess I also like being in control.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You don't
to
trust
a
the robots,
fault.
Dave? I'm just joking. Because they're listening right now.
Yeah, well, I definitely don't want to get in a fight with my house. Maybe that's the problem. I don't want to get in an argument with my house.
Oh, totally. It'd be embarrassing too.
It would
Fuck you
win.
then. And then you can't go home. You're like, you just walk.
Yeah, where do you go, dude?
It's worse than getting a fight with your
Because then
partner.
it's in my forest. It's in my beach.
Yeah.
I don't want my beach talking to me. I'm going there for peace.
You fucking beach.
Yeah, dude.
My house, she's such a beach.
So maybe like the front house, it would. Yeah, actually, for the sake of my family, for the ease, like maybe we have like a situation where the house will do some things for you. You know what I mean?
This is
but
how it
like,
starts,
if you
Dave.
get in an argument with the house, you can be like, "I'm going to the beach."
That's right. You stay at your other friend's house. You're like, what happened? Like my house kicked me out.
Yeah.
Can I stay here? Can I
Fuck.
crash for a bit?
I'm not getting laid. My house won't suck my dick anymore because
Then you're.
I kept old milk in the fridge.
Why don't you go to one of your other beaches? Maybe I will. Maybe I'll go to a real beach.
Wow.
Okay, so your house has got a little bit of technology, but not too much.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, like a big kitchen, big metal fridge. And I'm imagining like, yeah, dude, I will say I'm pretty crazy about food. So like
To
there's gonna
cook it
be, like-
yourself or what?
No.
Just
No.
to have it to
I
buy.
do not like work.
No cooking.
No.
Cooking's not work. It's an art.
I guess that's true. And I do like to, like maybe at some point I'd like to learn to cook, but I just don't, at this point, I don't know well enough.
Okay.
And I would like to, I don't know. So we're getting into weird territory here because I would like there to be like, you know, some chefs in there just making some shit. But I don't like the idea of having servants. I think that I don't want that.
Totally.
So I don't know.
Can we call your house though? Can we call it the SS Weird Territory? Because I feel like that would be the dopest name for
The
a boat.
SS Weird Territory?
Yeah, Weird Territory
Sure.
as the boat. Like
Sure.
written cool across the bow and then on the butt.
Weird
like,
Territory?
Weird Territory.
Sure, why not, dude? Yeah.
Because people always have like female names for their boats and
Yeah,
like just
yeah,
fun
yeah,
little
yeah.
like goofy names. But Weird Territory, I just feel like would be a rad boat for you.
Sure, dude. I look, I don't believe in labels. So
Even at the grocery
so I
store.
wasn't going to name it.
You fucking asshole. I'm gonna out modernize.
Yeah, you're a fucking tool,
Yeah,
John.
Yeah, I can't
No,
believe you'd label a boat, bro.
Yeah, weird, dude.
Why does it even need
Can't
one?
believe you came up with a name for a thing you own. What a dick. No, I love naming things.
Okay. Okay, then you name the boat. I just thought it would be fun to name it Weird
No, I
Territory.
like
I'll
it.
have my own boat, Weird
I
Territory.
was
You
just
name
fucking
yours.
around. I like SS Weird Territory. Let's call it that.
Okay.
We're in this together, bud.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's half my boat now.
I know. Well, it should be everybody's boat. Like I said, I'm a
just
socialist.
teasing. Oh, that's hilarious.
This is
everybody's
It's also, yeah, I forgot to mention, this is also a punk house in which anyone
rat.
can live. Like, I don't really believe that, but anyone I met that needed a home, I would invite them to stay in my forest.
It's so nice. You don't
be-
live outside here in the wild.
I want my family to feel safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So they
But
still
you
have to
can-
live outside on the inside.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no, look, here's another thing. There are like bugs and animals and shit in the forest to the extent that I would want it to be a full lush forest.
Yeah.
But none of them can get you sick at all.
Yeah.
And none of them are like gross to interact with.
Yeah.
So like sleeping in the forest is
You're
totally
safe.
safe.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Also, yeah, I mean, also in the forest, it's always night. Or like it vacillates between like sunset and full night, and there's no other time of day
Yeah.
in this forest.
That's great.
So it's just beautiful in there.
No early forest mornings
no,
for you
no,
there.
no.
It's like Alaska.
And it's always morning at the beach.
Okay.
It's
So-
always like either sunrise or sunset or the middle of the day. There's no nighttime. Actually, that's bullshit. I love a beach at night.
Beach at night is so great
yeah,
too.
it's the best.
But you have okay. So we got your kitchen is for.
Let's say like, yeah, it operates the same way as this like never ending party that my friends are always at.
Yeah.
Let's just say that like in this world, my friends are not trapped there. They're not slaves to me. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just like my perfect world and where I get to hang out with my friends all the time.
Yeah.
So there's like, there's like people in the kitchen that like make us like the guy, well, yeah, sure. Why not? Guy Fieri's there. You know what I mean? He's great.
I love how you had to think about that. You know
Especially-
what? Bring him in.
You know what? Fuck it, dude. Because he knows everybody, and then
Yeah.
he can call. Because I don't know a lot about food.
Yeah.
So Guy Fieri's there.
I heard
And
he's like a super nice dude too.
I've heard this actually.
Everybody
I've heard
said that.
he also like really gives back. And if you think about, he gets made fun of so much because of his stupid ass hair and his dumb
Oh, yeah,
personality.
he's a goofy
But,
looking dude. But there's
I shouldn't have said dumb personality. I said that to be funny.
You're being cute.
He's being dumb with his hair and his like, hey,
yeah. I'm
But-
stuck inside a Sublime album cover.
Exactly.
But also like
But everything he does is great. I love him, man. I think like, and And I should, by all rights, hate him because I'm so into, like, I love the mountain goats. You know, I want the world to be just like a set of Christmas lights. I just want the world to be soft and modest and nice.
Yeah.
And so I tonally I disagree. But dude, he like supports small business more than maybe everyone else.
Yep.
He donates so much of his money, and he's a great guy.
That's all I've ever heard about him.
Totally.
People that have worked with him in the industry have
So
always
everybody
said,
says.
that's what everybody says.
And that's all I want people to be.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So fucking rad.
Yeah.
So
good
you've
for
chained him up,
So
and he's in your kitchen.
He's my slave.
No, that's right.
And I can't cook, and I don't know who the best chefs are, but I can just be like, guy, I'm thinking like I want like a really good slider. Who do we call? And he's like, it's fucking this dude in Missouri. He makes the best. And then we fly him in, and we pay him so much that, like, you know,
Oh, yeah.
he lives in the forest for a day.
You're like, all accommodations are paid for. And then you're like, here's your forest.
Forest or beach, or do you want an aquarium, dusty basement aquarium?
Oh, yeah, dude. And if you're really just feeling like you want to get back to your roots, man, we got a dusty, dirty Midwestern basement for you.
Which also you
a
can
glass
look
bottom.
at fish.
With a glass bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I'm also, by the way, picturing the regular home part of this to be a mixture of like really nice, like dark hardwood floor and like flat gray stones. You know, like I don't know if you've ever been in a house like that or like walked around in an area that's just like a lot of the ground is just gray, like cobbled together stones.
Yeah.
But flat, not cobblestones.
Yeah.
The feeling of walking around on stone like that all the time is like the best.
Especially
feeling.
barefoot, because it's like almost
Totally.
like your feet are reading because they
Especially
feel
if I'm
all
not
the
to
different.
come from the forest or the beach. I'm like, it might be wet because it could be raining.
Yeah. Oh, you have weather inside your forest and
For
beach?
sure.
Oh, wow.
Come on, man.
Oh, wow. Dude.
I think this is pretty telling of where I am mentally now. I am so ready to be less stressed in my life.
Oh, yeah.
I want peace so badly that I also, man, not to go on a crazy tangent, but being a comedian, like, I'll bet you we would all be such better comedians if we would go walk around in the forest once a week.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude.
Just fucking Jesus Christ.
Sometimes that's like the most satisfaction you can get is going on a good hike or going out to the desert or to the beach or something like that. And you're like,
desert.
man, like nothing.
Oh yeah, there's got to be a desert in this house too.
Oh, fuck. I added it. And you're like, oh, thanks for mentioning that. We need a desert?
A desert? Well, yeah, it'll come up to the beach. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Because I mean, like, by the way, one of my favorite places to do stand up is Tucson, Arizona. You ever done stand up there? You ever been there?
I've been to Arizona. I haven't been to Tucson.
Tucson's great. I've had fun in like Phoenix and Flagstaff too, but Tucson's great because it's a little weird half art town, half college town. People don't really know that. It's like a tiny Austin.
No one's told me that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's like a kind of like it's like Arizona's best kept secret. At least I didn't know that till I was going there.
Great.
And so,
Now that you said that,
influx. Yeah.
it's
Totally.
the new Portland.
It might be. I've been wondering what the new one is because Portland and Austin are now overrun, and artists are gonna have to find a new. Anyway, so Tucson is like, it has all these. I don't know. It's a great music scene. There's good comedy there, like all these little art galleries and shops and shit, and so I love going there. But and there's this place called Hotel Congress that's just fucking awesome. They have this great performance space. I usually perform there.
Yeah,
and then when you drive home to California from Arizona, you end up going through Death Valley. And I always try to time the drive so I'm driving through Death Valley at like 2 or 3 in the morning because it's the time when it's most likely for there to be no other cars on the road.
Yeah.
And so if you drive on the fucking highway through Death Valley with no other cars around, the entire sky the stars are so bright.
Yep.
It's like the sun is shining.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'm like hanging my fucking head out the
I
window.
love it.
Oh, my
I've
God.
pulled over just to like stop and look.
Absolutely.
Have a smoke or just to look up for a bit and be like, oh my God, it's just so beautiful.
These are the things that bring me the most joy, I think, in life, or at least bring me the most peace in life. So yeah, that's why I want them in my house. The ability to look at the night sky in the desert, the ability to like hear the ocean on the beach, the ability to like hear the sounds of the forest and be in the forest. Yeah, dude. I guess like it's funny because I guess you would think that I would make like the bathroom a forest and the living room a beach or whatever, but I don't know, dude. I still want to be able to watch TV and sit in a recliner.
I think that's rad. No, I think it's rad. You're like, you're having this fantastical extreme rooms, and then like standard suburban dad watching TV, watching the game on his recliner and his lazy boy.
Oh yeah, I mean, I also think that like in this living room, in this big sort of like. By the way, I'm also imagining the living room as like, it's white walls, white off-white carpet, you know, art that we like. Maybe I also would like, I think if I have kids, I would, and it didn't matter, I would let them fucking draw on the walls and carts and shit. You know what I mean? Fucking be a kid, dude. Maybe I would do it. Like, there's a wall that I've like spray painted on. I'm a terrible artist, but maybe.
I think you're a great artist. You mean you're like, you're not good at drawing or something like that? Or what?
I'm not good at drawing.
Oh, okay.
I'm not good at drawing.
Yeah, you're a freaking great artist.
Thank you.
It's not that, drawing is not the only kind of art. Listeners, if you're a bad drawer, don't worry about it. I'm sure you got some great creative juice somewhere in there.
You're right. I shouldn't have. That's true.
That's right. You offended me and all of our listeners.
So the bathroom, I think, is like, a lot of like hardwood floor, but a huge tub. Like a fucking, I would say jacuzzi sized.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a big jacuzzi with like a huge window right next to it. To like sit in this jacuzzi and look out over Nashville.
Not the ocean, Nashville. No. I love how we're parked in Nashville right now.
We're parked in Nashville for sure. Well, I've got the beach with me, so I don't need to.
Well, since we're in Nashville, I would like to ask Guy Fieri to grab me one of those fried chicken sandwiches with like the slice of American cheese on it and pickles. Dude. Like that's just like
that's the shit. There's a movie theater, but with like, the style you would have in a house with like. There's a couple rows of couches in front and then a bunch of really comfortable, let's say 12 really comfortable recliners behind that.
Yeah.
So like 20 to 30 of us could really fucking chill out and watch a movie.
What movie would we watch?
Oh, wow. I don't know.
We'll just think of one.
First one that comes to mind is Inside Llewyn Davis. Let's watch Inside Llewyn Davis.
Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Is it because I look like Isaac, what's his name right now with my beard?
No, it's because that is when I try to think of like what's my favorite movie, that's always the first movie that comes to mind.
That is, dude, that's one of like, that's like a Coen Brothers, like, it's just like
my favorite movie of theirs for sure.
Is it? Dude, I saw that movie in theaters when I was having a really, really, really depressing time as a comedian. A lot of stuff had fallen through.
It feels
I was
like
working really hard.
Comedy, doesn't it?
I wanted to like. I don't want to say I wanted to die because I'm not at all trying to compare myself to someone with like mental illness that's really had to go through like the suicidal stuff. So I don't want to belittle their journey. But I was like pretty miserable, right? Yeah. Luckily, I think if I didn't have friends, I probably would have been in a way worse spot. But I had like an outside life, that was like of people who love me.
I get it, man. I think that I saw it in a similar place, and now the movie is very sad.
Yeah,
when it comes to like the reality crashing down, that if you're the best ever, you might not make a living at this. You might not become a thing.
Forget making a living, just being like being treated like a fucking human being. I mean, the shit that his character goes through, Llewyn Davis goes through that. You're like, he's treated like shit. And it's like,
he also treats himself like shit.
Sure. Oh, totally.
So it's he
definitely got into some of those predicaments by making stupid decisions.
You might not even get recognition to the extent that you have the respect of anyone.
Yeah.
But I don't know though, but that's not the message of the movie, because even though there are things that happen to him where he is treated like shit, but also he's doing pretty well. Like he got to a place in music where almost no one ever gets, which is he knows how to do it. He knows how to write a song. He knows who he is.
Totally.
And he is able to play in a place where people appreciate it. Now, so that's pretty good.
I agree.
So like I come in and out of feeling different feelings throughout life watching this movie. And when I first watched it, it was like a real letdown. And the thing is, like, it's always sad.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I watch it, and this is kind of how I feel recently, which is like I get a lot of hope from the movie because I'm getting to a place where I think like definitely he'll never be Bob Dylan. That's the message, right?
Yeah.
But it also seems like his own personal choices are what make it so he won't be a lesser Bob Dylan. And like that movie is based on, his character is based on a guy named Dave Van Ronk, who is like in the folk music community, like really known. And his music's incredible. And I think it's so much better than Bob Dylan's. And Dave Van Ronk, you know, got some notoriety.
Yeah.
He was able to release albums. People bought them. He played big shows. He played small shows.
In ways that's better. In ways that's better. And so I think that if you aim for, like, the reason that's sad is that there's a pretty big chance your dreams aren't going to come true. But the reason it's hopeful is that, like, there are parts of those dreams could come true, and that's pretty cool. Well, dude, some of my favorite. First of all, by the way, the movie's just a snippet, right? So what they wanted me to see as a viewer, and I like their uplifting, like Lebowski style stuff. But I'll watch any Coen Brothers movie. But at the time I saw it, it was definitely at a depressing point in my life. I was in the theater and saw it with a friend. And the friend of the friend that came along was like, "Hey, you look like the guy for the movie."
Oh, wow.
I like wanted to just like I was so.
Don't get me
depressed.
wring, the movie is gut wrenching.
But you
comic,
telling me the backstory, I didn't know that it's based on that this folk singer reminds me of like some of my favorite artists. Todd Snyder, who's like a folk rock and roll musician.
Oh, okay.
And he's hilarious, and like a lot of his songs are about like not really making it and not really fitting into mainstream. But it's like, he's not a millionaire for sure. I'm sure he has some sort of financial struggles. But like, dude, he's got a following. The band Ween, one of my favorite bands of all time, Ween, is like, they've never been huge. I don't think that they're like at all like rock stars, and they're better than almost everything out there.
Well, and we know who they are, and they're big in the sense that like they're part of the. If you know music, you know them.
Yeah.
We both know them.
They tour. They sell albums. They do what they do. They don't have side jobs. That's success.
Yeah.
But like I could like, you know, the sliver that movie comes from is definitely depressing. And
well, also, I mean, it's brutal.
Soundtrack?
And the process of what's that? Soundtrack is like the best soundtrack.
My buddy from Georgia would say it's fire, dog.
It's fire, dog.
It's fire.
It's straight up.
Inside Llewyn Davis soundtrack is
actually Dave Van Ronk is on that soundtrack.
Is he?
And like, yeah, I mean, a lot of the songs.
Which songs does he do? Do you remember?
He does. I believe there's a version of "Hang Me, Oh Hang Me" by Dave Van Ronk that's on there.
Yeah,
that's like one of my favorite songs of all time. And isn't it fucked up how incredible Oscar Isaac's voice is?
Oh, he's so great.
He's
a straight up entertainer. What do you call it? A triple threat? They call him, or
he's the real deal for sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine the layout of this house. So you like walk in, and there's this like corner of it that's like this home.
Yeah.
It's a very like, and then it's all kind of one big room with the bedrooms off of it. But that's like a corner of this big cube, right? And so it feels like a regular living room, but then you can see these glass walls, one that leads into a forest that wraps around one side of the house, one that leads into a beach that wraps around one side of the house. And then I would say, I don't know, the beach, around the corner turns into a desert. Let's say that.
Okay.
So then also there are, let's say there's three bedrooms there. One for like a kid. And then in the corner is a door into a master bedroom.
That's your bedroom.
My bedroom. And on the other wall, like it's a regular wall, fucking wallboard and shit on this side, painted white, regular wall. But then once you get into the bedroom, there's like, to separate from the other bedrooms, there's a regular wall, wallboard wall. But the other two walls are balconies overlooking the forest and the beach. Hell yeah, dude. That sounds great, right?
Dude,
yeah.
I'm
so you can like
it.
wake up and like sip coffee and like hear crickets and shit.
Is that something that you're going to be doing?
Dude, my favorite moment of every day is waking up, making coffee and drinking it. It's my,
Yeah.
I love it.
It's your peace, your time.
Yeah, dude.
That's a nice morning ritual.
Yeah.
Do you listen to the Descendants coffee mug? You're like, I'm so punk and into coffee.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's so funny. I listen to Mr. Coffee by Lagwagon every day.
Oh, yeah,
I mosh
dude.
with my friends. So also, there's a big kitchen that Guy Fieri's in with like a big stove, and I would also say a barbecue grill. Also, there's got to be a yard. I mean, come on. That's in the back.
Let's go in the yard.
You
have a forest, but you also should have a yard.
Sure.
Inside your giant cube
totally.
glass
But like,
boat.
well, outside, if this is all in this big glass cube, then the yard is in the back of the house.
What's in the yard? Anything good?
Just a huge grill. And there's another Guy Fieri back there.
You have two guys. You have a Guy Fieri
two
clone?
Guy Fieris. Yeah. I got one in the kitchen and one in the yard.
As we're like pulling up to your house, like on a dinghy, like coming up to your houseboat, like in the ocean, everyone's like, "You think that thing's amazing?" The guy's got two Guy Fieris. And you're like, "Huh?" He's like, "He's got a Guy Fieri clone machine.
Yeah,
He can only
dude.
clone Guy Fieris."
Yeah. I mean,
He's on the grill in the
it's not
back.
a clone. There's just always been 3 Guy Fieris. Just
Oh
not
my
a lot
God.
of people know this, but I've got 2 of them already right now.
Somebody
in
get
my
Sam,
apartment in Glendale.
Get Sam Tripoli on the phone. There actually are multiple Guy Fieris. He can be at multiple places. It's one of his theories. The people that run the government, bro, they're shape-shifting Guy
Have you ever
Fieris.
seen Guy Fieri in the same room as Guy Fieri? You haven't.
Bro.
What? Yeah, in the yard. By the way, yeah, so there's a 8-foot wide wooden plank around this houseboat, and then there's also just a really boring white picket fence around the whole thing. Why not? You know? I mean, this is in Nashville.
God, I want to see a render. If you're a listener and you're just thinking about drawing something, please draw Dave Ross's giant houseboat.
Man.
Glass cube houseboat with a white picket fence around it and a little red door. Dude, you have the fucking weirdest, dopest house.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, and in the yard, there's like an above ground pool.
There better be. There's not enough water here. You only have a beach inside this
Well,
puppy.
I was thinking like if I got this much money, you'd have an in-ground pool. But fuck it, dude. No, I'm having a yard. I'm having a white trash ass yard with
Yeah.
a grill and a Guy Fieri and an above ground pool.
Oh, Nashville's
and, like,
gonna
a
love
fucking
you.
Tree with a tree house in it. Hell, that my kids like jump out of the tree house into the pool and like break their legs and shit. You know
This
what
is
I
how
mean?
you reassure yourself that your kids are
Hell
going to be
yeah.
normal.
They're
See,
going
they have
to
an
be.
above ground pool.
Well, they're also going to be normal because of how much I verbally abuse them. You know?
Oh, dude.
Yeah, get out of the treehouse, you idiot.
You fucking
I'm gonna
dumbass.
name them idiot, and whore.
This is idiot. This is whore. Yeah, can I have $5 for the ice cream? No, whore.
Oh man.
How about your garage? Let's go to your garage, your garage, as we say in the UK.
Nah, no garage.
No garage?
No cars.
Okay, no cars. You're very
Well, I mean,
eco-friendly. Do you have a
Well, if
bike?
this house can somehow get from the ocean to Nashville, I feel like I can get around.
You're not going to be able to park it in the Vaughn's parking lot, though.
That's true. I guess I'm going to need a car.
I'm selling you
A
a car right
garage.
now.
Yeah, I know. But like, I don't know. I feel like I would just park the car. I don't want the garage like fucking up my flow with
Okay.
my house.
Dude, no
Yeah.
garage. I'm just trying to pose the ideas for you.
Thank you.
And then like you just shoot them down. I'm going to bat for you. Whatever you want.
Thank you.
I'm getting you your
I did leave
your
that
glass
out, like
house.
before we were talking about. I think like right off the kitchen is where there's the door to this massive movie theater where we can see, and then this is where we get into the area where, like, so this is like sort of the play area, right? There's like a big movie theater there.
It's kind of like your great room. It's like a giant. Like you have a regular living room, but now
Yeah.
you got this play area place. It's
Yeah.
Okay.
And so there's, I guess maybe like, let's say there's a door right out the kitchen, just one door. You walk in, and then there's like 3 doors that you can choose from. To your left, there's a door. It's just a very small anteroom. Let's say with like a little stand with a potted plant on it.
Okay.
And 3 doors. Right.
It sounds like a trick. I'd be like, Dave, which room did you say it in? And you're nowhere to be found. I'm like, I guess I'll go in this door.
And to the left is the movie theater, and then in the middle, actually, I don't like that. I like it more to be more open space. So let's say, yeah, okay, we'll do it this way. You walk. It's just like one door off the kitchen. You walk in there, and it's a room filled with arcade games.
Okay.
And because I play so many video games. I want there to be, and I want people to be able to come over and be like, and like us to like play these video games together. And I love an arcade game. And I also though. Do you know what a MAME machine is?
No.
It's-
Sounds painful.
It's people buy arcade cabinets and then make an arcade cabinet for their home that can play any game.
Oh, yeah, that's rad.
And I would want that, but also I just like playing a game in its original arcade cabinet. So if
Yeah.
somehow I could have, let's say it's just a small room with like 8 arcade machines in it.
Yeah.
But every one of these machines could be changed into any game.
Okay.
You can like press a button and then like the panels change to be fucking Smash TV or whatever the fuck you want it to be.
Or like, yeah. Okay.
Arkanoid, you know.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph.
That is a real game, right?
Is it really?
I don't know.
think
It's
so.
got to be now. It has to
Probably,
be.
yeah,
That's how
yeah,
much
yeah.
I know about like a lot of video games. I'd be like, that's a game, right?
Yeah. So it's a small room with that, right? And, you know, obviously a change machine because I'm making my guests pay.
It's only fun, right?
Yeah,
It's
come
part
on.
of the experience.
And then to the left is that like movie theater, a door into that movie theater room. And to the right is that room that's like a never-ending party with like a poker table and all my friends in it and a pool table and foosball, of course, and a bar. And then there's another Guy Fieri in there.
Is he the bartender?
Yeah.
Does he make those like those Bloody Marys with like the buffalo wings and the full
Or
cheeseburger?
he like brings in a bartender he knows
Okay.
from some hole in the wall in Kansas
I
that
love
makes
he-
the best.
He's the middleman consultant for everything. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
"Well, just get the best one, guy. And he's like, okay. As he's eating like some sort of cheeseburger with bacon on it.
This is all I'm looking for experiences here. I don't care about looking at it. You know,
Yeah.
I don't. Guy Fieri, he doesn't need to be making it. That's not cool to me.
No, and he's just fun to have
A
around.
billion Guy Fieris is cool.
That's a lot.
That's cool.
We can't have that. I'm going to put a limit on your fantasy house. You can't have an army of Guy Fieris.
Yeah, this becomes a little bit psychotic. The more Guy Fieris that come.
And then Guy Fieri 10,024 does most of my bidding in Kitchen 37. You freak. How many Guy Fieris do you need, man?
Yeah.
They start a union, the Guy Fieri union. Like, this is very Rick and Morty now.
Well, that's
So let's go. Let's finish this puppy off with
Sure.
your master bedroom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Unless you had something else you want to finish off.
no,
with.
no, no.
Okay.
I feel like I didn't expect myself to get so into mapping the house, but I did.
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. That makes me happy.
No, I'm sad now.
Oh,
Now
fuck.
that I've drawn a map,
I'd be so
sad.
fucking sad if that was if like Fantasy House really depressed my last guest. Yeah, he's like, "Hey, just thinking about that many Guy Fieris overwhelms me, and I need an ad event. Wait, is that
Well, like
the name
I
of the
said,
pill? Adavant? Or
Adavant?
Adavant?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Adavant.
I think that's what you give people who are like all stressed out.
Yeah. Like, how many Guy Fieris did I say I had? I can't remember.
I
John.
think we maxed out at 3.
We're
There's one in the
breathing
yard, one in the party room, and one in the
Okay.
kitchen.
Yeah.
right?
They always say like a third Guy Fieri's a charm, but like
Yeah.
the fourth,
Shame on me.
shame on you. Guy Fieri number 4, shame on me. Oh, dude. Dude, you have the best house. The SS Guy Fieri is like the best houseboat I've ever seen in my life. Okay.
Yeah. So the master bedroom. Yeah, I think I've already said it overlooks the beach and the forest.
Yep.
Other than that, I don't know. Like a king, like a huge bed, but not crazy. Just like a California king.
Okay. Yeah.
It's very comfortable.
Doable. What color is your sheets? What's on the sheets? Any pattern
White,
or
dude.
pictures? Huh?
White.
White
I
sheets.
want it white. Everything's white.
How about your guests?
Maybe like it's stripes. Maybe there's some like blue stripes.
Oh yeah,
Switch
dude.
out for white.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
You know, just like something that seems airy.
Yeah.
Makes the room look like bright,
Yeah.
but like not psychotically white. I feel like if everything in the room were white, that would be fucking nuts.
That could be nice in a certain way. It'd be a little
The
intense
floor
because,
is like a dark mahogany wood.
especially with
Let's
Guy
say
Fieri
that.
being your
Yeah.
guy in the house, that you're constantly gonna have barbecue sauce and things that are gonna stain.
That's true.
So like the fact that you're like, it's all white and Guy Fieri's running the show. We're like, well, who's your cleaning crew? There are a bunch of Guy Fieris with bleach bottles.
man.
It's
Yeah.
really difficult.
It is starting to seem, man, there's too many Guy Fieris at this point. I
No.
feel like we got to knock it back down to 2.
What are you gonna cull the herd of Guy Fieris? They're already
Yeah.
here. You gotta respect them and try to give them health care, Dave.
I don't know, man. I feel like we got to get rid of the one inside that party. I feel
Yeah.
like he's ruining the party. I just want all my best friends in there. He doesn't belong in my group of best friends. We don't know him.
How about
you know?
this? Let's give him a different disguise. We'll cut the bleach tips off. Give him just
Okay.
regular hair. Give him some normal people
He's
sunglasses.
dressed like you're dressed right now.
He's dressed like. Is that kind of weird? Like
He's
my
Guy-
vision for the future. The Guy Fieri is dressed like me.
like me. He's
Yes,
me.
That's right. There's a Guy Fieri. He like comes in dressed like me. And like that's what I'm talking about, guy. And everyone's like, John, you're such a piece of
Finally,
shit.
a Guy Fieri I can get behind.
Everybody just wants a Guy Fieri that's like them.
Yeah, yeah.
Tonight on ABC. My Guy Fieri.
I think that's it, man. I think that's
Dude, I
that's
love
like
it.
a really like a very comfortable big California king, like a Like dark wood floors. Everything else in is bright, and it overlooks a forest. Sure.
Is there anything hanging up on the walls? Any photos?
Oh
any
yeah,
art?
photos. I can't think of specific art that I want, but I definitely want there to be art everywhere. Like wherever I live, I want it to be like near nature and art fucking everywhere, dude. Also, I guess I can't really imagine how, because I'm not an architect, but I always wanted my house to feel like kind of a maze. Like not a maze, but like I don't want it to be like I want it to be like sort of interesting how it's laid out.
Like
But
interesting.
I can't really. Yeah, like when have you ever had an apartment or a house that like when you walked in and the rooms are just sort of like in my old apartment in Echo Park, in my bedroom, for some reason, in the middle of the bedroom, there's an archway for no reason. And I just loved it. I was just
It gives it character. It
why
makes
is
it a
this here?
thing. It makes it a thing. It's a
Yeah.
mole on her face, and you just want to kiss it.
Exactly.
I know.
Yeah.
I feminized your house.
That's fine.
You kissed your house.
Great. Like I already said, I want my house to be a robot that I fuck and get in arguments with.
Of course it's a lady. Am I right, fellas?
Yeah, so that's it, I think.
That's great, dude. Thank you for bringing me there.
Thank you for, bringing me there. You know what? Taking
To
my
your house
brain
and
there.
Dude,
Yeah, thank you.
It's such a fun experience.
Have you ever, I felt on this podcast very similar to how I felt when I did, Chris Locke?
I think I know Chris Locke.
He's a Toronto comedian.
Okay.
He's one of my favorite comedians on earth. Like, man, I'd really put him up there with fucking Rory Scovel and
Oh, I love Rory.
John Doerr and
Yeah.
just like my favorite comic. He's incredible. And his podcast is called Utopia to Me. Mm-hmm. He brings people on and they describe their perfect world.
Yeah.
And made me feel this like style of riffing. It's really fun. It's like, yeah.
Oh, man, it makes me so happy.
Yeah, felt good. Thanks.
I got to check out that podcast.
You
too.
should.
That sounds
You'd like it.
Freaking awesome.
You guys would like each other too. He's a cool guy.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's meet sometime. Does he
Yeah.
ever come down here? And
He was just here.
Oh, okay.
I wish I would have thought of it.
oh, well, next
dude.
year when he stops in for
Yeah.
pilot season or whatnot or whatever, whenever he's traveling, we'll hang out. Maybe he could come do
For any of
this.
that. I think he just like has kids and
Loser.
He and his
so do I.
wife wanted to bring their kids to America. I think that's what happened.
Oh,
they
okay.
like wanted their kids to see LA, so he came and did spots. I think
That's so cool.
Yeah, he's cool.
Well, hopefully, maybe next time he's here, he can come do this too, and it'll be fun.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I'd love to meet him.
Dude, thank you for having me.
Dude, thank you for being here. Where can our listeners look you up? What's coming up?
I'm Dave to the Ross on everything. DaveTotheRoss. So that's my handle on Instagram and Twitter. That's my website, davetotheross.com.
Such a great name.
My email address, davetotheross@gmail.com. That's where you can find me. I have a show. I don't really tour so much right now. Though I do have some shows. They're on my website coming up in Northern California. And then I have a weekly show every Saturday in Echo Park called Good Heroin.
It's the only
So
kind.
you're damn right. There'll be
Guys,
a lot of heroin in my fantasy house.
you left
I
that part
sell
out to the very
heroin.
end.
That's why I can afford this house.
That's your fantasy means that you have to do something very Breaking Bad to have that house.
Yes.
Guys, thanks for listening. Hashtag blessed guest. You guys hit the share button. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes. Thank you guys who have so far given us 5-star reviews. Freaking rad. Love you guys and talk to you soon. Peace out.